3 Cup veterans walked into a team meeting and walked out $6.7 million poorer. No warning. No phone call. Just a number on a screen and a door closing. The garage has not stopped talking. Sponsors have not stopped calling. And the veterans have not stopped blaming the one man they never saw coming. 3 questions matter here. Which veterans lost it? How exactly did the money move? And why is this moment bigger than it looks on the surface? Every answer is in this video. If this is the kind of NASCAR coverage you have been looking for, no fluff, no filler, just the real story, hit that like button right now and subscribe. You will not regret it. Here is what most people still get wrong about Cup racing. The financial model was never built on performance. It was built on time served. Multi-year guaranteed contracts, locked in over 15 years, pay veterans $9 million to $12 million per season regardless of results. A driver finishing 14th consistently, not winning in 3 years, still gets paid in full. Nobody renegotiates. The system protects its own. Sponsorships follow the same broken logic. Brands sign 3-year deals based on name recognition, not lap times. Over 60% of Cup sponsorship renewals between 2019 and 2023 were based on contract continuity, not viewership numbers. Brands stayed because starting over felt harder than staying comfortable. The playoff structure made it worse. Veterans coasting into the playoffs by points alone collected an additional $2 to $3 million in guaranteed bonus money. Per NASCAR's official playoff bonus structure, that money is locked the moment a driver qualifies. It does not matter how. The money was spoken for before the season started. Every single year, young drivers finishing top 5 watched budgets flow to the guy who finished 16th. Fans paying for tickets and merchandise had no vote. The system had no internal reason to break until someone from outside broke it. Then one driver showed up with 0 Cup starts, a road course specialty nobody respected, and a contract tied to wins instead of tenure. Shane van Gisbergen is a New Zealander and a 3-time V8 Supercars champion, 2016, 2021, 2022. He won the Bathurst 1003 times. He walked into NASCAR's Chicago Street Race in 2023 and won on his very first Cup start. His 2025 rookie season produced 5 wins, all on road courses, breaking records that had stood for decades. In 2026, driving the number 97 Chevrolet for Trackhouse Racing with Red Bull backing, he picked up exactly where he left off. Trackhouse had no legacy, no history of veteran wins, and no guaranteed money culture. SVG's contract was performance-based, tied directly to wins, not tenure. The garage laughed. One team principal publicly called Trackhouse a social media experiment with a race car attached. One crew chief said they would be gone by summer. Neither comment was retracted. Neither was apologized for. Both men are now watching their own sponsorship numbers get renegotiated. Now for the 3 mechanisms that moved $6.7 million. Layer 1. The sponsorship shift, $4.2 million. A major energy drink brand pulled its quarterly viewership report after the second road course weekend. The numbers were not close. SVG's broadcasts drew 22% more viewers in the 18 to 49 demographic than the veterans' average race. The brand's marketing team projected the gap forward. 3 more road courses remained, and the gap was expected to widen. 11 days later, the allocation moved. No phone call. No transition period. Logged on a Tuesday. The veteran found out on a Thursday, not from his agent, not from the brand, but from a team manager reading a number off a screen. That veteran sat in the room for 45 minutes and did not speak for the first 20. The crew chief tried explaining the viewership data. The team principal called it a temporary reallocation. Neither landed. $4,200,000 was gone from his operating budget, redirected to a team in Cup racing for less than 3 seasons. Layer 2. The playoff math, $2.5 million. Each road course win by SVG added stage points, race points, and playoff seating value. 3 wins meant 3 separate injections into the standings. Those injections pushed one veteran below the cut line by 11 points. per NASCAR's official playoff bonus structure. Falling below that line erased a full off-season budget. 2 crew members had already been hired on the assumption that bonus money would cover their salaries through winter. The veteran did not find out from NASCAR. He found out from his crew chief in the hauler after the race. 1 stage finish. 1 caution at the wrong moment. 1 pit stop that went sideways by half a second. 11 points separated a funded off-season from a stripped one. Layer 3. The contract clause. $1 million. SVG's deal at Trackhouse contained a performance escalator. 3 road course wins in a single season triggered it automatically. The funding came from the team's shared revenue pool, the same pool supplementing veteran contracts across the organization. Veterans on related deals saw their guaranteed number shrink. They did not lose a race. They did not miss a checkpoint. They lost a clause they never read, a clause their agents never flagged. Nobody removed it because nobody believed it would ever activate. 3 road course wins in 1 season was considered impossible for a new team. SVG made it look routine. For $0.2 million in sponsorships, $2.5 million in playoff bonuses, another $1 million in contract restructuring, $6.7 million total. Gone. The veterans responded and made it worse. One went to post-race media and said SVG did not belong in cup racing. He called him a road course gimmick. He said this sport was built by men who gave it 15 years, not by guys who show up for 3 weekends and collect a trophy. He said it 3 days after losing $4.2 million. A second veteran, on a racing podcast, used the word loyalty 11 times in 4 minutes, despite not winning a race in 3 years. A third said nothing publicly. He sat in his motorhome for 40 minutes. His agent made 2 phone calls that evening, both to competing teams, both asking about available seats. Meanwhile, one crew chief confirmed on a podcast that SVG's braking data into Turn 1 was 0.3 of a second quicker than anyone else in the field. Per the crew chief's own telemetry, no veteran in the garage was close. The gap was not effort. The gap was instinct. Social media split down the middle. Per engagement data from 3 major NASCAR fan accounts, the debate generated 4 times the normal interaction rate for a mid-season story. The veterans made their case. 15 years of showing up, rule changes, low viewership, the hardest stretches this sport has seen. For one moment, that argument sounds fair. Then, the numbers land. A veteran averaging 14th place at $9 million per season. SVG winning at $3 million, generating $11.3 million in combined broadcast and sponsorship value. The veteran's best season in 5 years generated $2.1 million. The disrespect was not SVG taking the money. The disrespect was the system pretending the money was earned. The ripple is already moving. At least 4 organizations are drafting performance-based contract language for next season. Per one agent confirmed by a racing industry source, the conversation is no longer about extending the deal. It's about whether the deal survives the weekend. 3 brands that renewed veteran deals last season have requested viewership comparison data for the upcoming renewal cycle. The brands are not loyal anymore. The brands are shopping. The last veteran argument was the oval. SVG answered that at Nashville Superspeedway with a career-best top 5 finish. He closed the gap on 1.5-mile ovals by 0.4 of a second in 6 weeks. If he gets competitive there, the road course excuse dies. And if that excuse dies, every veteran on a guaranteed contract has no argument left. The veterans thought Chicago was a fluke. They thought road courses were a gimmick. They thought one New Zealander could not restructure a sport that operated the same way for 15 years. They were wrong about all 3. Every contract renegotiated this offseason. Every sponsorship that shifts. Every young driver who gets a seat instead of a 15-year veteran. It all traces back to one New Zealander who walked into a cup garage and refused to ask permission. This channel is brand new, and every single like and subscription genuinely helps us grow toward our goal of 2,000 subscribers. If this video gave you something the mainstream coverage did not, please support the channel. Hit like and subscribe right now. It costs nothing and means everything. Next week, we break down the one contract clause that could end 3 veteran careers by December. Now tell us in the comments, is SVG the best thing to happen to Cup racing, or the worst thing to happen to its loyalty structure? Drop your honest opinion below.